Out where we're going to be going, because it is now time for game number 2. TSM is up 1-0 here in our grand finals, and it is Bind where we're taking a trip to. And looking at the compositions you got on TSM side, they're going to be running with basically what we would expect them. You have Haze on Sage, Drone on Phoenix, Wardell is going to be playing Sova, Subroza on Brim, and Cutler on Cypher. On the other side of that, the exciting part of this is that Tens is going to be playing Jet, Mitch on Brim, Shinobi on Sage, Relics playing actually some change-ups here. Vice committing to the same one. I think Mitch was playing the Sova last time, so I wonder what this comp is going to bring to the table here, but I like the Jet pick. I do like the Jet pick.
Dude, Jet just naturally with her kit has a lot of agency in the way that she approaches the duels, being that any of the duelists you're looking for 1v1 situations or trying to get an opening frag to allow the rest of your team to aggress through. But having Jet paired with Phoenix, sometimes doubling down on that can be very effective for you. Both of them positioned directly here in A short to try and find something, but Subroza always going to use that Brim smoke here on the pistol round to try and block off and delay some of the pushing from the attacker side.
And another note too, what Subroza picked up, I think, was just one smoke, maybe two smokes, and the molly. But Tens is actually going to drift right past that. But Wardell does manage to meet him with the shot. Relics comes around the corner, and there's Relics managing to just hold Wardell back. Subroza is going to be inside of Lamps. A few kills went out. You're going to have one inside of Heaven, two inside of Heaven, as a matter of fact. It's going to be Haze along with Drone.
But the box is there on site. And that's a great place to hide to try and block off those sight lines. And Subroza ends up rotating through the Yule. But that's the TP going over to B site. You drew all the attention of the defenders to A, which leaves this completely open, getting that plant over into Tube. And still, Relics is here to just defer some of that attention even further. Yeah.
It really puts them in a real sticky situation now. I love the quick TP play. Fun to do in round ones, fun to do in comp, but also in unrated if you ever want to try that out. You just pull a lot of that attention. You know you don't have to worry about anyone trying to flank around you, so you've already gotten all these players on site. Here we go, an attempted defuse here, just trying to bait someone out. Drone nails that shot, looking for another one, and Drone, but it's Subroza who actually finds a headshot. One more going to be located right by Elbow, and it's Subroza, and they needed to get rid of him, and time again, Rosa manages to come out clutch for this team, and TSM take the pistol.
You gotta dig it. You gotta dig it. I mean, we talk so much about what Wardell can do, and then obviously Cutler and Haze being the veterans of the team, Haze being a team leader in this case, but Drone and Subroza also have that really great pop-off chance. Subroza leading the top of the lobbies in many of the games here today. Very consistent Brimstone player here.
Subroza in general is just consistent. I don't like when he's having a bad day, you know that TSM's in trouble. He really embodies, I think, the rock of this team, because his smokes are clutch, his angles with mollies are clutch, and every single time you see Subroza, he's getting some insane value. So when you pick him early, it really hurts this team. A lot of people say that it's Wardell, but I do genuinely believe that Subroza is that player that really hurts when they lose him. But Wardell, his effectiveness cannot be questioned when he has a sniper rifle in his hands. And I thought that shot was a kill because Drone got one immediately on Skylar. But now this is going to prompt this rotation, Gabby, over, and they're going to run right into Sub.
Yep, Sub is here. He is waiting. Does he get one pop? There's the next one.
Look at that!
Oh, flawless run. Subroza with the ghost. Sometimes that's all you need, baby. Cloud9 wasn't even expecting to get that, but damn.
That's what I'm saying. He is disgusting. Comes around the corner. I mean, sure, the Brimstone was taking a look at his iPad, but even then, you would imagine that Shinobi would have been able to line up that shot. And Shinobi was unaware. I mean, that was a very aggressive angle that Subroza was holding. But again, he puts himself in positions like that allow his team to win rounds consistently. TSM up now 2-0, folks. Real guns are going to be purchased this time around. I also appreciate the fact that in that last one, Subroza stayed committed to the pistol and now manages to get this Phantom. So we'll be able to match toe-to-toe here against his team. Cutler, though, is going to fall victim in the first blood to Tens via headshot.
With one defender down, they weren't exactly positioned in a way to fully capitalize to push into the site. That's all they were hoping for. No reason to rush this if you're attackers. Oh, that's going to be a clear off of another defender, though. See, sometimes all you want to get is pick after pick to get yourself here. All of the attackers except for one are located over onto A site. Phoenix potentially looking to pick up anybody that rotates through, but Tens right there in U-Haul says, hello, I'm here to play, and I'm going to make a statement.
Yeah, Tens versus Wardell in that instance, and Wardell had that angle locked. But they did not expect Drone to push around that fast. It did not actually burst the slow orb in time. And then Skylar with a low snap, a curveball there, and tried to catch Hayes off guard. But Hayes is going to be the only person left alive here, Gabs. And it looks like this is going to be Cloud9 walking away with this one.
So I gotta give a shout out. That's a great thing to do. You can create an effective pop flash by throwing your curveball through the blaze, but unfortunately unable to catch up in that moment. Hayes just wants to hold on to his rifle here. He's got the Vandal and he doesn't want anyone taking it away from him.
Yeah, they're going to need to hold on to that weapon. His teammates, money-wise, they should be okay. Because some of them didn't buy in that last one. Wardell was holding on to that Marshall for quite some time. Also on that light armor too. So we'll be able to get op. And he's going to be in a position already that is beneficial for his team with the weapon of his choice. The lead opper for this TSM roster. Full guns across the board, though. Got some ultimates online. Subroza will have orbital strike. Drone will have run it back. Same thing on the other side, as a matter of fact. It's going to be a mirror on both ends.
Which I'm sure means that we can expect an information gathering run it back within these next few rounds at some point from Drone. As we mentioned during the last map, that's how he likes to effectively use this. It's 2 positioned over onto B side for the defenders. 2 on A. The op's going to be in exactly where you expect to be, sitting over an A window, but it's just Cypher there to bait if needed. Meanwhile, the rest of the attackers have the double split, 2 over onto Hookah side. Slow orb thrown into Garden, a bit of information gathering, trying to slow a potential push through that long portion. Tens takes a little bit of damage through Hookah, but that gives the information that Phoenix is lying in wait around this corner.
Yeah, Drone was holding that Molly for a very long time and was just peeking and peeking and peeking. And I thought that Tens might have been able to get the better of him, but he had to clear his corner. And that actually allowed Drone that time to drop that. And then Drone actually charges right through the portal just to get some more information. Saw where that Cypher was located. Tens flies out. He's going to be on top of the box there. Gets a headshot onto Hayes. Looking for another one. But around the corner, it's Drone who got himself 2. Relics also was going to contribute to that one with a kill on Cutler at that moment in time. This is going to prompt them for that full rotation onto the other side. They're going to make their way over to A, thus sending Wardell, who still has an op, over to Heaven. Subroza on the flank, but the numbers advantage will be for Cloud9.
Taking over into the connector angle, a little less forecasted than the window, which is what the attackers will be expecting. Wardell loves to take these close angles with the op and is no stranger to getting that shot right into the body to clear one. As Brimstones makes his way through showers. Sage and Phoenix are holding directly here too, so they have to be worried about that.
They didn't see him. Subroza managed to creep around him. He's going to be able to pick one. And then this is going to leave the Phoenix all the way tucked in the corner. There's Subroza again. The spray down just to let him know. And that will be another round win for TSM off the back of Subroza getting himself a double kill. But that timing there, Gabby, I mean, if they had just stayed there, Shinobi had just stayed looking for just a second longer, would have actually seen Subroza on the flank.
I was just thinking that Subroza was coming through, and right before that, Shinobi had kept his eyes over towards the teleporter entranceway for quite some time, but clearly wanted to revert his attention to make sure that Relics was all fine and dandy, but they didn't stay all fine and dandy after that. Meanwhile, as far as what they've got in the bank, looking a little slim on the side of Cloud9.
That's right.
3-1 in the favor of TSM2. They could be able to roll this into some multiple victories to have a strong finish for their defensive side if they can keep up this momentum.
Looking like a ramen night here for Cloud9.
Hey, I'm never going to complain about ramen.
little instant ramen, you know? I'm talking about like cup noodle.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm talking
ate so
about, like,
much
good
of
ramen.
that. I ate so much in college that I couldn't eat it for about a year because
Cup
I
noodle's
bought.
my jam. Back when I was poor, we used to, I know this is like really weird to say on a broadcast, but when I was poor, I actually used to do the meal. The play was cup noodles and like lettuce. It was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, you can
Sick.
kind of. These are the real
Cool.
tips that you came here for.
That's right.
The budget meals to get you fragging like tens.
You guys think you're here for my below average commentary. No, instead, I'm actually going to give you some college tips if you poll.
No. You don't even need to boil water. That's what microwaves are for. Who needs that?
Ain't that the truth? All right, well, flash around the corner, but just like that, Wardell actually stuffs Relics and sends him back from whence he came. Subroza at that same time did get a kill, and as Vice pushed onto site, Hayes met him right on the opposite side there, right underneath Heaven, leaving just Shinobi all by his lonesome. And he can't ninja dash his way out of this one, and that is going to be a very clean win there for TSM. That was an eco round, don't get me wrong, so them getting the spike down at the very least was beneficial. They got some cash for it.
They even used the majority of their utility to get in that position to get the plant down, knowing very well that if they lost too many players on that entry, it would be difficult to hold after. So, hey, you take the wins as you get them. 4-1 isn't too terrible, and at this point, you do get your rifles in hand. So, a lot stronger lineup to be facing against TSM.
All right, now we may have a B hit here, so 2 going up toward long. 10's continuing to work right by Hookah, as he's been doing quite a few times. But this is the trust that TSM have in Wardell, that they'll just send him to hold A by himself because he has op looking long, and he's good. You know, he's all right.
Oh, you ain't coming back.
Oh, I also like the delayed rotation Subroza has been holding into the back, and that's going to actually call for him to push forward because this is a very clear push into B from the attacker side. Coming through Garden, Spike's made his way through site, and there's some more funneling through Hookah as well. Cutler, it's too difficult to try and hold on to both of these angles, so throwing down the trap for some kind of safety as the orbital strike starts to block off a whole entire part of this site. Oh!
Ollie.
Good shot there from Subroza. The molly's out. Spike is going to be down 2. But actually, Skylar pops up behind him and then manages to nabs him with a headshot there. Now that is going to be Spike down. Only Wardell in a 1v3. If he gets a pick, but nope. That is not going to work out for them. And they're going to give up that op in the round. And that will be 4-2. So Cloud9 showing some life here, which is exactly what we want out of this team. And although they have lost some cash and they are still going to be a little strapped there, so is TSM a little bit. You know, Drone and Subroza, they're going to be a little worse for wear there.
Yeah, and also following up on that, Cloud9 went into that round with only the resurrection from the Sage available. They have built themselves up towards running back.
Double op.
Ooh, I missed who was running the double op. Which side?
Subroza's running double op as well as Wardell. So
okay, and Subroza is typically the secondary opper when they choose to go this way. You'll always see him more likely on the defensive side compared to the offensive. And with that, even some aggressive positioning on the defensive too. They've sent Sova directly into Hookah to supplement what TSM has going on there. Drone was previously holding it all in his isolation, but the B presence previously called for more attention. Unbeknownst to them, though, Cloud9's making their way towards A. Drone gets a pick from Jet. Tense tried to get an aggressive pick there, but unfortunately met his own demise.
And then while all that was going on, Subroza picked up 2 kills on A site with that op, which he certainly was not expecting at that point in time. And just to kind of reflect on what ended up happening there with that play, Tens did not expect them to be 2 players focused on Hookah, because as soon as he just tried to just do that little jump peek to pull out whatever information he can, found out that it was going to be the op player there, he then jumped right back in, obviously not knowing that you were going to see Drone. So there was just a lot that worked out for TSM And that is going to leave Cloud9, and most importantly, that is going to leave Shinobi in a tough spot here with Spike, no time, and needs to hold on to this weapon.
The defenders have spread themselves here, trying to find him as well.
They're on the hunt.
They are in all of the opposite directions of where he is, but that's going to be a victory over to TSM. And speaking about, you're just talking about that hookah moment, you can't blame TenZ for trying to make that play. When it comes to Valorant, there's always going to be some level of risk in every moment you take, and the delay can be more detrimental than getting killed often in trying to make those plays. He was operating off of the information from the previous rounds, as he has been constantly trying to push through hookah and had only found drone in all of those situations. So just that slight change on defense, adding a single secondary member into hookah, allowed for a turning of the tide for them on that site.
It's something that TSM really enjoy doing. They would mix it up, send Wardell in different areas. Even right now, Wardell's going for that long peek on B long, and Subroza's still going to be holding on to this snipe. He's taking a more traditional angle and what we can expect players to do here. And actually, Subroza is going to be tagged up quite a bit, dinged up, and in a lot of pain. There goes an orbital strike, actually, to just try and hold this one off. Subroza tucked away in the back, needs his teammates to get there to help him out as fast as possible. And Subroza also watching the flank here too. So this is going to prompt that rotation, have to come out there, and Subroza with just barely any HP was able to stay alive, and now getting that healing there courtesy of their Sage. Subroza again manages to find his mark, this time against the mirror. Mitch, the rival Brimstone. There goes another orbital strike. Subroza with 3. And this so far has just been the Subroza show, and Shinobi once again left all by his lonesome.
But this time he can at least try to go for the plant. The problem is with this rotation path he has taken on the side of TSM, you have Hayes that's going to be coming right over here through the defender halls. Those B halls can be a dangerous place. Shinobi, very aware of the rotation speed, doesn't end up rushing into the site and giving away his positioning, but he'll be coming right into the enemy stage in just a moment's time, using the wall to block off one area, which leaves elbow as the only place for Hayes to rotate. The collapse slowly entrenching.
It's like Jaws. Dun 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 dun. Oh, gets one though. Does he actually kill Jaws? No, Jaws kills him. And that is Hayes finding the mark that he was initially locating. And that will give them an op. I think they're just going to give that one to Wardell so he can get closer to Hunter's Fury, maybe, or not. They gotta defuse that.
They were a little iffy on what they wanted to do there, but all right.
I was like, yeah, you know, okay, you're gonna drop that for Wardell. Oh no, Wardell's looking for a sniper. Oh, okay, tight. That's what's up. That's really what happened.
Yeah, usually, typically as most people watching this have played Valorant, you do want to give that over to somebody who's still working towards their ultimate, but hey, finding an op is also effective. As now, TSM's still going to get to work with that double op setup. Subroza and Wardell, very effective in. Wardell, as you mentioned before, the capability for him to be at any point on the map for any moment in time is one of the biggest strengths of this roster.
Look at this. So a run it back, sent right through. I think they may have read that one, but they don't know that Wardell is going to be there. Now they do. Now they're aware. Wardell misses two shots there, which is very uncharacteristic, but gets one through the flash.
Barely
still
enough
alive.
Great response time for him to do that. TenZ holding in hookah gets the nice shot onto Subroza. Subroza is not the only one that was there to try and rotate in on this. Another one from TenZ.
He's looking for it. Be careful because TenZ is actually on the hunt. Only has a classic, by the way. 3. But it's all he's gonna need. Gets the op. Lots of time left, but finally his reign of terror has come to a conclusion.
Oh, Lottie, he's just got to hope that his teammate can clean it up. He said, I did so much work. Do you got this, my friend?
You gotta win it. You gotta win it. But no, it's Cutler. Wow. That was a masterclass in jet play from TenZ. The way that he navigated all of that tricky terrain there. It started with that kill on Subroza and then was debating the jump out, was trying to just get anything on that player hiding in corner, and then sent a few knives over in that direction. While that was going on, still managed to get a kill with the classic onto Wardell inside of the smoke, while Wardell was just all, you know, fuzzed up from that smoke, not knowing his left, right, or center in that instance. The last thing you expect is a laser beam classic shooting at you in the face in that moment in time.
Same flashes that we saw before, but a different result. Drone taking out the enemy stage. Relics, a great shot before you can get there. The TP, he says, nah, you go bye-bye by my command.
That was another just like this whole cat and mouse game that's going on now. Also expectingly, or unexpected, I should say, excuse me, was that Wardell's been playing that B long a lot, and he likes moving around the map. I think the reason why he hasn't, or I thought he hasn't, is because they were taking that secondary op over to the A site. That said, now that he's been playing that a lot, I think he might try and change up what he does in the next round. And kudos really to the Phoenix for just really exploiting that, you know, and really abusing whatever it was that they were trying to cook up there at the B long side. But now it looks like a short A push, and players have actually rotated.
Yeah, defense has no idea. It's okay. I mean, they have the trap wires here, so that's going to give them the information as soon as possible. But you still have to rotate on through.
Yeah. Oh man, that actually is hilarious. They abandoned that site, but it just goes to show you how strong Cypher is. Now they're gonna have to retake this positioning. Spike is finally down.
Right in front of Truck. There's the resurrection.
Trying to give them a little bit of a, not a numbers advantage per se, because you're still gonna have a few players still left alive. Relics does get a kill on Hayes. Checking the common default spot inside of the box. Don't blame him for that one. Mitch and Vice are going to be holding inside of Lamps. You're going to have Tens up ahead as well. Wardell manages to find a shot, but it's Mitch, though, actually tags himself too. And Mary Poppins flying in the sky gets Wardell as he was coming out of the showers. Oh, man. What a play there. I love to see a good float, you know, a good floater. You know, it's always nice to see them. I'm doing stuff with my hands, too, like a little floater, you know.
I know that there's all this Mary Poppins talk with it, but I like to think of her as Princess Peach.
Okay, Princess Peach.
I'm an advocate for the Peach Way in the description of Jet. Putting that out there.
You're a Peach main in Smash then as well?
Not actually. I love my boy Bowser, but don't act with that. But still, I gotta vibe for Peach sometimes.
You know, crazy Peach mains over here, running all these tournaments.
I just gotta. But Cloud9's just gotta get some rounds for themselves. Because as a reminder, everybody, this is the grand finals. TSM are currently up one game in this best of 3 series, 7-3 on this map in particular. Moments away from grabbing potentially a hold of Hookah if they decide to push in here. 2 players once again on the defense trying to hold this on the inside and outside of that hookah window, but different than what they had prior. Wardell's in the back of sight. A nice go in to try and get the kill onto Drone. Unfortunately, Tins was taken out on the way out.
Yeah, and Tens actually still is alive, but it is Mitch that will fall, and that hurts because without that Brim ult, the Tigress, you would like to think that they could have utilized that to be able to bring themselves back into this one, maybe force some players out of positioning.
Especially considering these holds that you've seen over on U-Haul.
Yep.
It's a great way to try and affect that. In some ways, Brim is the most punishing when he goes down because the information and agency it gives the opponent to pull in, but that's the shots attempting to go right through the cage.
And I actually thought that would have worked out. They got to get that spike down, Gabby. They don't have a lot of time. Tens gets the shot, but the Hunter's Fury's in play. No choices. No choices. Can he get the shot off? Does do the damage, and that is going to be the round. No one was there to get that spike down because he shot him through the wall with a freaking laser beam.
That big old laser. I don't even think of it as well, I guess there's so many laser beams, right? You got the Hunter's Fury. That's like all of those. The orbital strike is technically a giant laser beam coming
not
from the
technically,
sky.
it is a laser beam. It's a giant laser beam.
I just can't think of it as a laser, because when I think laser beam, I think tiny pew pew, not big entire area of effect.
If Dr. Evil's taught me anything, it's that laser beams can come in any shape, form, or size, even on a shark. Okay, so
That's
no.
true. We had Jaws earlier. No laser beam for that one.
No laser beam for that shark. No, but okay. Well, look, Wardell's timing on that. The timing on the flash, you have to anticipate that. And Wardell has been in that predicament so many times that it almost seems like it's boiled down to a science. Tenzo does manage to take advantage and get onto a site. Drone playing right by L-Box. It's going to start to wait for this rotation to come through. Some smokes are going to be played. There goes the orbital strike, forcing Drone out of position. And Shinobi lined up the headshot there, managed to just tag and remove Drone from the equation. Now they're going to get that spike down. And this is the retake opportunity here for TSM. Can they do it? Up 8-3. Critical round here, Latagris, for Cloud9.
Indeed, Cloud9 have got themselves into effective post-plant positioning. You have two over and U-Haul to try and keep an eye on any rotations from short, as well as hearing noises from connector. There's a potential that they hear that Cypher is pushing through and are ready to respond accordingly. Wardell, recon bolt available to gather that info over into the showers.
I know exactly.
And that's
You saw them? Oh, you saw them! That forced them out of showers. That forced them out of showers. Oh, Wardell!
Oh my gosh! Holy moly! So you do expect them to back off into the back of showers off of that, but you have to have a special level of precision to be ready for the lineup.
Well, all that was going on, they didn't get the spike diffuse, obviously, but the reality that he just got a collat with that is it's just dumb. It's just dumb. But that was a big round for Cloud9. They needed it. Unfortunately, everyone died, and they would have liked to have been able to have their teammates still alive and with their weapons. Now that prompts them, well, actually, I'm sorry, that was a halftime, so I stand corrected. I'm so sorry, guys. It is 12:58 a.m. and I'm exhausted, but that's halftime. That's that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that one to the side. I just can't believe what we just saw there. My word, I'm just
he sent you spinning. You know, one bullet out, zipping through their heads. I guess is
forgot what time it
yours
was.
Too.
Forgot what round it was. I'm just the worst. I'm a terrible caster.
Wardell has that effect. Ooh, great curveball and the Wardell effect. All kinds of effects coming through. All right, Subroza. So that was a long engaged duel between them, following off on the curveball that was thrown off from the defense. But it's one defender down so far on the side of Cloud9. But they did have 3 stacked over originally into the B site. So they're still being able to hold that strong.
And things are just going to slow down here as you have C9. We really needed that round to win in order to bring this one back up. A smart reactive wall is placed. They are going to get some intel out of this one, but just look at the hold here from Shinobi. The wall is down, plays down to slow too. Then you got Tens just jumping around. This is shades of what we saw in that first round there when Cloud9 actually did this to them. The difference is that this time around they were going to be anticipating it, or at least you thought so. The kills are good. But it is Vice with a classic. 2 players going to be working around each other right here, right by the L box. Let's see what Vice is going to do. The Molly's out there. Nice shot. Lines head shot onto Drone. Looking for another one. Does get the dink. I think did get, all right, it looked like he got a dink there, but it actually wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it was. He did get the dink. So it doesn't matter, though, whether he got the dink or didn't, because Hayes gets 2 kills. And that is going to make it 9-4. TSM just a few rounds away from taking this whole thing.
You gotta commend the Vice for attempting to hold it down, but nonetheless, Classic takes a lot of bullets to try and rain through that many heads. As far as the last map when we were on Ascent, it was also an 8-4 finish after that half.
That's
Same
right.
situation that we're having here, and it got pretty close down to the wire towards the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that here. The problem is TSM picking up that pistol rounds, then it's looking much more favorable for them to string these together and put them into double-digit territory.
Ooh.
And A is with the ghost to open things up onto Vice.
Yeah, then Tens ends drone inside of Hookah, and then Subroza answers right back, secures himself too. Shinobi zipped through the teleporter thinking that he was going to get the jump on Subroza, but little did he know that there is no getting the jump on Subroza. Subroza always gets the jump on you. Relics now, perhaps recognizing that there's going to be a player located right by Long, does get that flash off, and it's going to be enough to kill on that one. But Relics, wisely enough, actually, this wasn't a bad play. You'd rather just try and regroup and then work this together rather than look to force the situation on B site and then leave your Brimstone alone here.
Yeah, and on the side of TSM on this attack, if you're looking at the way they're able to set up pushing into this site, the combination of both the Cypher and the Sova for collecting as much information as possible, even though Cutler did eventually go down, his utility is what helped position them to get here in the first place and force these rotations off of Mitch as well as Relics.
Oh, they're going to be able to get that round, putting them really close. I still can't get over that end of the half. I love seeing collats, man. It's probably just the fact that I used to cast Call of Duty back in my younger years, and it just makes me excited. But that was so good. And also the fact that Wardell goes Marshall on round 2, like, I respect that so much. Marshall is woefully underrated.
Yeah, it's but in the early rounds, yeah, you can find an effective use at a time when a lot of others are opting for closer range weapons when you're trying to bridge that gap between pistol and Vandal/Phantom. So yeah, instead of going for something like a Stinger, having somebody that can just pop with that can be effective, especially when facing off those that aren't fully equipped with shields, because you can, on the body with the chest, get that one hit shot to death with it.
So Mitch on top of the truck here at U-Haul, and they have Owl Drone ready, and smokes are about to be played out. And Hayes tossing that slow orb up top. There goes the orbital strike, and Mitch, though, even with the best effort of the coordination there, was able to get 2 kills.
He stayed in that position as long as he possibly could before having to move for the orbital strike.
And they knew that he was there as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these attackers are falling on the side of TSM.
This is shaping up to be a potential Cloud9 round win here, but never say never.
Very
Hayes
limited
gets boxed out.
to the strike.
Yeah, he gets boxed out. Cutler's down. That just leaves Hayes all by himself here. And finally, Cloud9, they got themselves around here in this half. The first one, as you had mentioned earlier, on Ascent, they ended out 8-4. This time around, doing the same thing on the half, 8-4. Will history repeat itself? Is certainly going to be the question here.
TSM are hungry. One of the most anticipated teams coming into this invitational due to past performances. They're able to pick up a win recently, some runner-up finishes, and looking to be one of the more formed together teams when it comes to having player leadership, those that you can rely on for op play, for fragging out. And with that, TSM are deciding to keep things slow, but 10 starts to get an opening out here from the hookah angle, sprays through the smoke, but it is Subroza that gets the double.
Man, it almost seems like you just see Subroza getting double after double after double. He does it so much.
Time.
It's
All
almost
day,
becoming,
every day.
it's like scripted at this point, you know?
The Dubroza.
Subroza. I actually quite like that. That's and if he wins, then he's definitely the Subroza. Hey, look at that.
Hey, there we go. But
did
that's
it, Chad.
past their curse right there, so, you know.
Oh, never mind. Knock on wood.
All your fault.
I want a fair match. Although I would like a game 3. I wouldn't be angry about a game 3. Even though it is 1 a.m. right now, I'm not arguing with that one. But Subroza wants to end this one as quickly as possible. And this is going to open up 4 kills for Subroza. Last player left alive. Does Subroza become, wait for it, Ace Rosa?
Hey!
And get himself this final kill. We're going to be working together here alongside Wardell. There's Relics.
Looking
coming around the mound. Oh, it might actually be. Oh,
yeah.
he's gonna go for Molly.
Incendiary line up. Get him off of that.
Oh, but Wardell gets the shot. You know, Subroza is such a team player. He doesn't care.
Nah.
He just wants his teammates. Oh, by the way, that Molly was sick. I really wanted to see what that Molly was gonna do.
I know, not gonna lie, I was really looking forward to that. I think that's one of the greatest things about the early stages of Valorant 2 is obviously people are experimenting more and more with different lineups, and there are going to be some that are standard as far as what you're trying to execute, but the creativity that comes through is absolutely astounding. So I'm looking forward to all the highlight reels and things to come from others, but this tournament as well, 11-5. TSM still pulling ahead here in game number 2 of the grand finals.
Yeah, this actually could be a real painful round here for Cloud9. I saw a Bucky out, a Bulldog as well. There was one player with an op. Now Relics inside a garden.
Are you a Bucky boy?
I am a Bucky boy. I love the Bucky. It's my jam. The judge can suck it. Hate the judge. I always mess with that gun.
I dig the judge. No judges here though.
No judges here. No. That you go for the Bucky, especially when you need to save some money.
Yeah, that's true.
Hunter Fury,
right.
He's gonna play this one instantly. Oh!
These Hunter Fury lineups, it can be difficult to get consistent kills with it, but not for Wardell.
He does not seem to have any problems with that agent's ultimate ability whatsoever. Subroza does get that spike down. Tens has a lot, but not anymore. Wardell is gonna just body Tens as soon as he jumped up. But the jumping shot there for the Bucky, that's the advantage with that shotgun. You do not lose accuracy when you're jumping up like a crazy person. That said, though, is the Bucky going to be enough to try and bring them back into this one? Vice will have an op as well. And actually, they're just going to dip out of this one because Shinobi picked up a gun. And it's better to save these weapons than to try and risk it for the biscuit. You're going up against 4 players here. But this will be tournament point for TSM as they go up 12-5 to close this one out. Potentially, Latigris, can they do it is the question.
Oh my. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of TSM fans out there that believe, as they should. I think one thing with having a player like Wardell in your team, obviously it's great to have somebody who has outstanding kill potential, but you notice what it opens up for them as far as positioning. He had no problem holding on the shower sites on his own in a position where you often see somebody having somebody else have to hold that angle as well just to keep them safe. So he can get those kills in safety, often multiple before he goes down, if at all, which just opens up so many possibilities here as TSM are so close to a potential overall victory.
Similar hold that Wardell did by bringing that op over to Hookah, which is relatively common. You'll see a lot of players look to do that. Vice with the Bucky. This is a desperation round here, folks. First blood is going to be so critical in this moment in time. A lot of options online for TSM. The run it back, maybe Drone plays that to get himself some intel. Some smokes are in play. There's run it back now. And at the same time, the orbital strike answer back there. TSM looking, and Drone actually is going to charge through it because he doesn't need to worry about it because he's in run it back state. So he's going to be inside of lamps. And finally, he's going to go back. Subroza, though, does manage to get the first blood. Tens gets a kill, a huge one onto Wardell. And then Vice gets a kill with the Bucky on Subroza. This is just going to leave only 1 player left alive. It's going to be Relics.
Oh, no.
Can he do it?
Oh, he's got the spike, but
you will not kill my allies.
And the rest came through. Oh, no. He doesn't have a lot of options remaining here, folks. This is looking like it could very well be the conclusion of the Immortals First Light tournament. And there it is. TSM pick up the win. Wow. What a showing from TSM. I legitimately thought that Cloud9 were going to be able to try and bring this one back, La Tigris, but it was TSM game 1 and game 2.